Hello friends, today I'm going to solve LeetCode problem number 1706. Where will the ball fall? It's a medium level difficulty and this came on daily challenge on LeetCode. So what's the problem? Let's say. So we are given a grid 2 by 2 grid and we are given n number of balls. So the number of ball is equals to the number of columns, which means that from each column one ball is uh, thrown, and then we have to find out if the ball is able to reach and come out of the last row or not. So what are we given is a value 1 and -1. A value 1 means that there is a diagonal span on that grid, on that cell, which spans from top left to top right. So if the diagonal spans from top left to top right on that cell, then the column value is 1. If it spans from top right to bottom left, then the value is -1. So let me just show you here with some examples. Here we are, I'm using the same grid, so the value here is equals to 1, this is also equals to 1, this is also equals to 1, this is -1 since it spans from top right to bottom left, and then this one is -1. Now we have to see if the ball is able to reach the end and come out of the end or not. So we are also given conditions like if we reach a V, then a valley, then the ball is stuck there, so the ball cannot reach the end, which means when are we reaching a valley? This is when we reach a valley. If we have a 1 and a -1, also we reach a valley. If we have a -1, a -1 and no, so if we have a 1 and -1, we reach a valley. So 1 comma -1, we reach a valley, which means that we cannot reach the end. Because 1, what happens in 1? So when we drop a ball here, this is pushing to the right, but again when this ball is goes to the right hand side, when from the right hand side, because of the slant, it is pushed to the left, so we just cannot move anywhere. So this is where the ball is stuck. And when is the ball able to move through the grid? The condition when the ball is able to move through is when we have a 1 and a 1. So these two grid have a 1 and a 1, right? That is when the ball is able to move through the grid. So when we have a 1 and a 1, we are able to move down over the grid. Also when we have, so this grid is a -1 and this one is also -1, and you can see we are still able to move down the grid, right? So any row, if we have on the same row we have a same value for both the columns, then we are able to move down, and if the values are different, then we are stuck. So we are going to use these for coding purpose. So let's get started. I'll just start with the coding. So let me define m, which is equals to grid length, and n, which is equals to grid the number of columns. And let me define the result array, because we need to return return the array of results. now for each of the balls, so for each of the balls, I'll define it with a value k. K is less than n because the number of balls is equals to now the number of columns, k plus plus. And now every time for each ball we are starting from the first row. So first of all we take ball number 0 and then we throw it from the top and it lands the row 0 and then it proceeds downward. And for the second ball b1 we do the same thing, right? So we are always starting from the first row, and the number of column j is equals to the number of ball we are throwing. So b0 falls from the column number 0, b1 falls from column number 1, but the end result could be different. 0 could come out of column number 1, so that is what we need to find out. Now while, so what are our edge cases? If we are stuck, right? If we are stuck, then we return -1. If j exceeds either of these balls, so if j goes beyond this ball or goes beyond this ball, which means that we are stuck again. So if j is so we are gonna keep moving. So what we are gonna keep moving as long as j is less than n, right? Also for the case of I, because we will be updating I as well, so which will be our edge case, because m is the length of grid, right? So we drop ball from 0 and we want it to come out of row 4, which means while I is less than m, we keep on moving, and when I is greater than m, which means that the ball was out of this column, so that is when we come out and then we push our result j, which is the row, and we are pushing it if I equals to m. So now here, if the value of j is of grid ij is equals to 1, which means that we are going to the right, because if it is equals to 1, we push to the right, the ball is pushed to the right. So j plus plus, and then if that grid, if j is greater than or equals to n, which means that we have gone beyond this boundary, or if grid I j equals to -1, which will give us a value, that is when we push to our result -1, and then we break from the loop, that is we break for that ball and then we continue with the next ball. But if in case similar thing, we are going to do actually the similar thing, equals -1, then we are pushing to the right. So this is -1, so we push to the right, so j equals to -1. Now if in this case j is less than 0, which means that we have gone beyond this boundary again, or the value of grid e is equals to 1, then result at push -1, and then we break. Yeah, we also need an else condition, else when else we we are able to move forward, and then we increment I me try and run this code. Great. Okay, so here's something wrong. And what is it? Cannot read property undefined. Oh, else. We need an else here. Great. So thank you for watching. And talking about the time complexity would be, since we have one for loop which is equals to n, and again one while loop which is either equals to n or m, any one of them being greater. So our time complexity is of n squared, and the space complexity is O of n because we have a response array here. Alright, thanks.